So, you ever wonder what really separates the good affiliate marketers from the truly great ones? Well, today, we are cracking that code. We're not going to waste time on the basics. We're diving deep into the exact playbooks the top earners are using to absolutely dominate their fields. Let's get right into it.
First things first, let's talk about the money, because it's a big motivator, right? The best in this game are pulling in over $150,000 a year, and honestly, that's often just the floor. A number like that is exactly why this space is so incredibly competitive.
But, that big number just leads to the real question. Yeah, this isn't about getting lucky. It's about having a rock-solid strategy, executing it flawlessly, and really, picking the right game to play in the first place. So, how do they actually get there?
We've boiled it all down to three main playbooks that we're going to walk through. First, the authority engine. Second, the trust catalyst. And third, the competitive hustle. And don't worry, at the end, we'll pull all the key lessons together into one universal blueprint for success.
Okay, let's kick things off with our first strategy, the authority engine. Think of this as the go big or go home approach. This is for people who want to build a true monument in their niche, a resource so complete that it just becomes the undeniable go-to for everyone.
The whole idea here is to combine massive scale with incredible quality. You're not just writing a couple of blog posts. No, you are building an entire library, a definitive resource on a topic. The goal is to become such a juggernaut on Google that your competitors can't even dream of catching up. And if you want the perfect example of this in action, look no further than Wirecutter. It started as a humble tech review site, but it became so authoritative, so trusted that the New York Times came knocking and bought it for a reported $30 million. That's the power of this playbook. And the result of all that hard work? Get a load of this. Over 16 million visits every single month. And that number? That's just from Google search alone. That's not a website anymore. That's a media empire built on the back of affiliate marketing.
So what's their secret sauce? Well, they are absolutely obsessed with Google's EEAT signals. That's expertise, experience, authoritativeness, and trust. They pair that with a slick user experience, and this is critical, they are constantly updating old content. For every one new article they publish, they're refreshing 5 old ones. That's huge.
But here's the thing, Wirecutter isn't the only way to build an authority engine. This slide shows 2 different paths perfectly. On one hand, you have RTINGS.com pulling in almost 9 million visits a month using a super scalable site structure and something called programmatic SEO. On the other hand, you've got Bank My Sell. They build their authority through clever PR and data-rich pages that earn them amazing backlinks. Both are authority sites, just running on different fuel.
All right, let's switch gears to our second playbook, which goes in a completely different direction. This is the trust catalyst. See, this one isn't about massive scale. It's all about building a deep, personal, unshakable bond with your audience. It's about being the expert they trust, period. This quote right here, which is about a YouTuber named Hobotech, it just perfectly sums up the whole philosophy. The single greatest sign of trust is when a creator is willing to lose out on a commission just to give you honest advice. That kind of integrity is what creates a truly loyal audience.
And this expertise can come in a couple of different flavors. You've got Hobotech, who proves his worth by doing these super deep technical tests in solar generators. You watch him, and you just know he knows his stuff. Then, on the flip side, you have Scotty Kilmer. He builds trust through more than 40 years of grease under the fingernails experience as a mechanic. One is technical, one is hands-on, but both are incredibly powerful.
Now, a really clever tactic these trust-based creators use is something called double dipping. It's brilliant, actually. They create an amazing blog post and an amazing YouTube video for the exact same search term. The result? They can often grab 2 spots on the first page of Google, which just maximizes their visibility and cements their status as an expert. Okay, on to our final playbook, the competitive hustle. So what do you do when you want to get into a crazy competitive niche like insurance, where the big companies have multi-million-dollar budgets? Well, you outwork everybody. It's that simple. Simply Insurance is the poster child for this approach. I mean, they decided to jump into one of the toughest affiliate markets on the entire internet. Their secret wasn't some clever hack. It was just a relentless, almost unbelievable amount of sheer hard work. Their weapon of choice was link building, getting other websites to link to them, which is a huge trust signal for Google. And they managed to get backlinks from over 2,200 different websites. That's incredible for a smaller site, but how they did it is the real mind-blower.
They did it through guest posting. The founder personally wrote over 1,000 articles for other people's websites. Just pause and think about that for a second. That is an absolutely insane display of pure, raw hustle. And this timeline just puts it all into perspective. We're not talking about a decade of work. In just 2 years, they went from 0 to over 1,000 guest posts and more than 2,000 links. That right there is the definition of the competitive hustle.
So we've looked at 3 very different ways to win, right? The massive authority engine, the personal trust catalyst, and the non-stop competitive hustle. Now, let's pull out the common threads and build a universal blueprint that applies to everyone.
You know, across all of these successful examples, 4 things keep showing up. First, your content can't just be good. It has to be, and I quote, really damn good. Second, your website has to be clean and super easy to navigate for both people and for Google. Third, video is a massive advantage for building trust and for that double dip strategy we talked about. And finally, you have to figure out a way to build high-quality backlinks at scale. These are the non-negotiables.
So, there you have it. You've seen the blueprints, the exact strategies the best in the business are using to win. The only question left is the one that really matters. Which one of these playbooks will you choose to master?